Now I'm going to ask you something that I feel like it's a conversation that we wrestling fans quietly have, but of course we'll bring it to the forefront. This week's segment for Good for Business, Bad for Business. Bam. Do you believe that the King of the Ring winner should be entitled to a title shot because they won King of the Ring? Maybe not necessarily the World Championship or WWE Championship, but some type of title shot. Do you think that helps with the prestige of the tournament going forward? Now, no, get me wrong, we're kind of booking ahead now because we're talking about the Triple H era. We're not talking about the way it was before, but we're talking about the level. We're talking about the level of importance that it plays in the new era of WWE. So, like, from here on out, King of the Ring is going to be a thing. King of the Ring is going to be something that people are like, I need to win this. And you can tell because you have heavy hitters in the tournament this year. It's not just like throwaway guys. So it's, you know what I mean? And I don't mean throwaway guys as if that's what they are.
No, you didn't know who was going to win. It wasn't predictable. And like in the past, you knew who was going to win.
Yeah, like
this has some stake in it. They were like, oh,
pretty much
who's going to win?
Like in the fight, like we have Tama Tonga and Randy Orton in the semifinals. Gunther took out freaking Jey Uso. Like I said, that was a big deal. Jey Uso was, if you ask me who was up next to be at least King of the Ring, I would say Jey Uso, but I'm also thinking under the mindset of what I've been groomed into thinking. This is a consolation prize. Can't make you a champion, can't make you the top guy, but you're one of the biggest baby faces. Let's give you something. But you know what I mean? But we're not in that mind frame anymore. So like I gotta reprogram myself. And you see like Gunther, he's on his way. Like he is racking up, like he's like Thanos. Sorry, Brian H. He's just grabbing stones along the way. And once he puts it all together, he's gonna snap his fingers and it's gonna be like, all right, this is my world now. Like I'm fearful for a Gunther as world champion. He is going. We watched him hold the IC title with prestige for 1,000 days, and I'm making this up. I don't know the exact
666
days it was. There you go. Yeah.
Devil but with that question, Dwayne, is if I'm a Raw superstar and I win, does that mean I get the world title? If I'm a SmackDown superstar and I win, I get the WWE one.
Well,
shut.
Well, this is the conversation that we're having. King of the Ring is not brand based. Right? Mm-hmm. We're talking under the new rules, right? There are no rules. Like the Good Brothers, shout out to them. They showed up on NXT again, take out the NXT Tag Team Champions. But they're SmackDown superstars. But they do whatever they want to do. So if they want to go to NXT and rough up some young boys and take their championships and go to Vegas because that's what they do, they say, wait a minute, we can win championships and go to Vegas? So they decided to ransack NXT and beat up the tag champions. Now they're SmackDown superstars. There's no rules to it, right? So if I'm a SmackDown superstar and I look at Gunther and say, you know what, I want your title, I can have a match with you. It doesn't necessarily, if I beat you and I win, okay, I become Raw's new champion. But if I lose, I go back to SmackDown. So we're looking at the wild, wild west of possibilities. So it's like, okay, cool. Does winning the King of the Ring entitle superstars to at least some sort of title shot? Does that help build up the gimmick of it all?
I like this. I like where you're going with this. I'll say before Money in the Bank, yes. Now, because of the placement of Money in the Bank, I don't necessarily like the idea just because it's like, you know, Money in the Bank kind of leads us into SummerSlam, even though there's not always a guaranteed cash in. But I feel like it's too many. Because so let's go back to like video games, right? Were we talking late Attitude Era, early Ruthless Aggression Era? Whenever I would do like King of the Ring, if you won the King of the Ring, you had the title match at SummerSlam.
Right.
Because I love the concept when it worked for Kurt Angle, for Brock Lesnar. Some reason it, you know, obviously makes sense. It didn't work with Edge. But so I would like that normally.
Sure.
Just because, you know, SummerSlam is like, all right, Royal Rumble is kind of like right smack in the middle of the winter, right? But then WrestleMania is the end. It means the beginning of spring. King of the Ring, I used to always. It's funny. Me and my god brother was actually just talking about this. I think last week. King of the Ring was always the beginning of the summer, and SummerSlam was the end of the summer. Like King of the Ring was the first pay-per-view before after school was over. Like school might have ended, like say Friday. King of the Ring was that Sunday. And then on SummerSlam was usually like the last pay-per-view, then you went to school. So that's why they call it the biggest part of summer. So I would like that idea, but I don't like it now unless you reshuffle things.
All right, fair enough, that does make a lot of sense, and of course that's always a topic of conversation when you look at where Money in the Bank is placed in terms of what's the point? You know what I mean?
And honestly, too, I think because it could make sense this year. Right now, the title picture is so heavy, right?
Okay.
So, let's just say all right, you know what? Let's switch it up because everybody keep talking Gunther, right? Let's say Randy win it.
Okay, Randy-O.
It makes sense. Randy and Cody at SummerSlam. Cody needs.
True.
We
do have a brand split.
Huh?
Think about it. Like we have a brand split.
Yeah, we got a brand split.
So even if somebody does win Money in the Bank, they can only cash in on one world champion. What about the other world champion?
Yeah. And then if Nia Jax, who's my pick, wins,
okay,
her versus Bayley.
True.
So now think about it. Yeah, I would like that. I would like it.
Yes, you got him to flip.
Yeah, because like at first I'm thinking that's too many titles. But I mean, why not? Why not? You do, subconsciously, because I mean, well, if I'm booking, both of the women's winners are gonna be on SmackDown because Tiffany Stratton would be the Money in the Bank briefcase. She just wouldn't cash in no time soon.
Put the rock on. There you go. You just
I gotta see that. I gotta see that, and this, I gotta see that pink briefcase for at least 4 or 5 months, and we know like EO cashing in was the first time a woman didn't cash in since Carmella on the same night.
Right. Okay.
Well, Oscar the next day, but
you gotta remember,
always catch the same night.
The women's Money in the Bank is still also a relatively new concept as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? Because we never got a chance to get used to seeing them with the briefcase. Where the men, Edge had it almost a whole year,
sure,
and then everybody else would hold it for a while, But for some reason, it was like, why the women? Everybody got cash in the same night. Now, granted, Liv Morgan did it; it was a pop.
Bayley did it; it was a shocker.
Bayley did it; it was a pop. Yeah, so it worked. But at the same time, it's like, no, let's see him with the briefcase.
Okay, fair enough. What about
I'm
you,
gonna say,
Brandon? Are you in?
Yeah, I said.
See what I did there?
I'm out. It's bad for business because, in my mind, kind of close to what Hollywood was saying. I think it's too close to Money in the Bank if that's a guaranteed title shot because it's too many ways to get to the title in this WWE period. You can be a number one contender. What's the purpose of me winning the King of the Ring, getting the title shot versus Brian, who was in a fatal 4-way and is now the number one contender, or Dwayne being in a fatal 4-way and now he's the number one contender. So I went through all of these gruesome matches, won this pay-per-view. It might not even be the main event, but I won the King of the Ring tournament just to get a title shot when 3 weeks ago, Jey Uso just pinned one person and he got a world title shot. So I'm gonna say is.
But what about the brand splits? Did the brand splits play a part in that way of thinking? Because like I said, you're still, regardless, if like when you say a title shot, but we have 2 world champions, does that make a difference, or do you still feel like regardless?
I think if you're going to do it that way, they will get, because if you say a title of your choosing, that's just like Money in the Bank. If you say title of your choosing, that's like Royal Rumble.
It's one Money in the Bank briefcase. It's not like a Raw Money in the Bank and a SmackDown Money in the Bank. Which they used to do, I think maybe once or twice. They had the red and the blue briefcase. It's literally one Money in the Bank. You have Raw guys, you have SmackDown guys, and it's one match. And then somebody's going home. And then think about it.
What I'm saying is it's a different time. So think about it. Nobody has the Money in the Bank now.
Okay.
So if I win this and I get a title shot now, I'm going to be able to choose which one. So that's just like when I win Money in the Bank, I get to choose. Just like Royal Rumble, I get to choose. So it's like, okay, I got 3 different ways to get to the title. But in between, to get the Backlash, the B-level PLE, I just got to beat one match and now I'm going on. So to me, I'm like, what's the stake in it? It needs to be something unique because remember, when people win Money in the Bank, we're excited like they won a title. We're like, yes, this we won it. Or we're mad like, we didn't want Austin Theory to win that. Why did he win that? You get what I'm saying? But when it comes to the Royal Rumble, we're like, yay, this person won it. Or, why did they win it? Like, think about the feeling when Bianca or Rhea won the Royal Rumble. We were ecstatic, like they won the title because we knew they're going to main event Mania.
Right.
With King of the Ring, what's going to be my to make me set it apart differently? Is it going to be I got a guaranteed title shot at SummerSlam in the main event for a title of my choosing? So that way it's
which is very specific. It's like you got to make a choice by SummerSlam. You don't get to hold on to it like Money in the Bank
because then
as long
when
as
you
want
do
to.
that with Money in the Bank, like if I win Rumble, I'm going to Mania main event. I win King of the Ring, I'm going to SummerSlam.
Right.
If I win Money in the Bank, I could ruin Brian H's SummerSlam by cashing in that night and taking the title from him. You know what I mean? Like you it's got to be a different stake in it's something different. So if the winner of King of the Ring gets a title shot of their choosing, because who's to say it won't be a monkey wrench where, I want the NXT title. You never know. We could be looking at that next year. We could be. Look,
I'm okay with it, but I get it though. You're right.
I don't think they would do it this year. I'm just saying, like,
please.
This year. I mean,
he'd be like, man,
they didn't say what the King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring gets, did they? Because imagine.
No, that's what I said. It's like this is the conversation, right? We're talking about like, is the crown itself good enough? Like,
wait, have you seen those crowns though?
No, but that's what I'm trying to say though. Like, they're trying to make it seem like no, being King of the Ring is good enough. It's something. It counts as almost a title. Versus it seemed like King of the Ring is a stepping stone to something we really want. You know what I mean? And you know, we're trying to decipher this new era, but I definitely.
But back in the day, Jim Ross would say, this sets you up. Him and Michael Cole, they would let you know, like, guys who won the King of the Ring have went on, look at guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin, like Hunter Hearst Helmsley. They went on to become world champions. So
at least got real short at those guys, though.
Because you had the Shamrocks and the Edges, and when I say Edge, we not gonna act like that's the same Edge. Like I'm looking at
he was
him,
nowhere near.
He was more. Right. He was entertaining. He was fun loving. He wasn't the gritty rated R.
He had the same name.
He wasn't rated R.
That's it.
That was the first main event gimmick.
Yeah,
I don't care nobody says.
Rango.
Like,
no,
he
did 95. Take
me
to the home kick boots that 109. Sorry, just had a moment. That was that Edge. Never gonna stop me. Okay.
No, it's
funny story. Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys at King of the Ring 99. But
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you're not worried about King of the Ring when you got that match
with Gangrel versus the Hardy Boys with Michael P.S. Hayes.
Oh, see, that's the problem though, because King of the Ring became just a pay-per-view name, not an actual thing. Like,
this is the last one with a long tournament.
Sure.
99, because 2000, like you said, by then it was just maybe 2 matches.
Right.
The semifinals and the finals, or just the finals, like Brandon mentioned earlier.
Sure.
That's I wasn't a fan. I wanted to see I wanted to see the whole tournament. Well, not the whole tournament, but I like the idea of them having multiple matches. But what we know now and protecting the wrestlers and all that,
sure,
I can understand why they didn't. But I always thought, to me, that was cool watching Bret Hart win all 3 matches.
Yeah,
without using the sharpshooter.
Right.
That match with Mr. Perfect was one of his best matches. Yeah. And Perfect had a bad back.
Yeah. And that was when Bret Hart. No, we're not getting to that because we'll be here for 6 hours talking about Bret Hart. But you're absolutely right. Mr. Perfect did the right thing, as Kurt Hennig. He made sure he did the honors for the Hitman. But it brings us to today. We have this year's King and Queen of the Ring. Like I said, they've taken it across the water in
nice. They got a link for the crowns.
The King. I tried to upload the images of the crowns, but for some reason the files was too big. I couldn't get it. But yeah, I had them. I don't know why it wouldn't work. But the Kingdom of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So we know it's going to be very, very regal, very prestigious. Very a lot of
Did
money.
You say very a lot of money?
Is different. Very a lot of money. So that side, it's very a lot of money.
Water.